Well, folks, I couldn't resist. I had to keep going. And yes, you heard the entire suite in a nutshell. The music of Percy Granger. Isn't it marvellous, Frank?
Oh, it is, yes. Full of joy.
It is. I love his orchestral writing. And the pastoral is a very interesting, that third movement, the extended third movement, has got lots of interesting textures, I think, and sort of polyharmonies. And he was quite inventive, but he just didn't write a lot of orchestral music. This is from a series of LPs put out by John Hopkins with the Adelaide Symphony Orchestra in the 70s. And interesting thing about this is that they, in order to sell this record, half the record is an advertising feature for a pharmaceutical company. And so the whole back cover has got all this information about a certain product, and then you've got a little bit of info squeezed into the top half about the the music we've just heard. So that's the only way they obviously could get their funding together.
Whatever it takes.
Yes, but the music's there, and that's all it matters.
Totally, yeah.
Yeah, so...
I mean, it doesn't matter if they've got to do ads, let them do it.
That's right, yep. People can choose to read or not to read. That's right, exactly. So, yeah, anyhow, there we have it. That's the music of Granger in a nutshell suite and 4 movements. Arrival, platform, Hamlet, Gay but Wistful is the second movement, then a pastoral, that extended pastoral, and then the Gumsuckers March at the end.
That's the one everyone knows.
Yeah, that's the one that's all we sort of all relate to. But, yeah, I love his candid sort of approach as well. Yeah, so how have you been, Frank?
I've been pretty good today.
Yay.
Yeah, had a...
You right? We lost you there for a sec.
No, you there?
Yes,
Hold on.
indeed. Yep, all ready
I'm
to go.
sorry about that. I'm out in the radio room, as you can tell.
Yes, indeed. That's fine. I understand the situation
I'm
completely.
hoping this will be the last time I'm out here.
Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah, between 3 and 5 on a Sunday, I have a very interesting musical experience.
Yes.
I got a program on a lovely Baroque program on the ABC.
All right.
2 hours of Baroque music.
Fantabulous.
But clashing with that, I've got 2 hours of African music on PBS.
How do you manage that one?
Which I really enjoy as well.
So do you sort of switch over? How can you reconcile to such incredibly different styles of music?
Yeah, I know. Well, I've got them on a toggle.
Yeah.
And I tend to sort of flicker one to the other. It's not very, it's a bit destructive of sort of continuity.
Oh, that's okay. But we all manage these things, and we can decompartmentalize our listening if we need to.
So I'm living minute to minute,
Yeah. You've had a really eclectic lot this afternoon then. You've had Baroque music, you've had African music, now Percy Granger, and now what else?
Well, if that weren't enough, I have also an interest in some football matches that are going on.
Oh, you must keep an ear to that one. I know, I understand. I've got a lot of football.
You're familiar by association.
By association, I've got lots of football tragics in my midst. And so, yes, I understand the vibe. So if you need to sort of, take leave, it's okay. I understand completely.
So I sort of split my personality.
Yes. Well, it's good. That's the way it should be,
It's a wonderful time. I really enjoy it. I lock myself in my, near my favourite radio.
Yes.
I've got a very special radio in my bedroom, which
right.
It's got a very good speaker in it.
Oh, fabulous.
Well, it's a very interesting. It's a 3-inch speaker, but it's a long throw.
Oh,
lovely 3-inch
yes.
speaker.
Yes, it's a backloaded horn, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right.
They're very interesting, and they work extremely well. Yeah, for close listening.
The radio is made by an English person called Riark.
Okay, Riark. All right, okay.
R-E-A-R.
Okay, well, thank you for that.
Yeah. And it is a lovely radio.
Good. No, well done. Oh, that's what you need. You need something that's got good vibe. And, yeah. Is it digital, or is it you listening digitally, or are you listening to AM or FM?
No, I listen on DAV.
Oh,
there.
Yeah, sure. Oh,
and it has... yes. What can I tell you about it? It works very well for all kinds of music.
Yes.
And it's obviously got memories and things like that.
Yeah, look, that's great. That's what you want.
very, very easy for me to work. I can also do it for internet radio.
Ah, yeah, of course. That's right. That's an option all around. In fact, that's probably going to be the big thing that sort of supplants all of our other systems in time.
That's right.
But yeah, that's where it's all heading. But I caught up with lots of legal people last night. We actually had a really lovely night. It was great.
Oh, that's excellent. I hope you didn't find them too boring.
Oh no, it was marvellous. It was a wonderful night.
It's a bit of a cliche, which is not true.
No, it's not true. They're wonderful people. And it was,
we are,
of course, and it was a big night.
Oh, it's the 80s night.
Yes, and lots of dancing and lots of music. And I had a long chat to the DJ and
80s music?
Yeah, lots of 80s music. A lot of it I didn't know actually, but they'd assembled playlists, I think, from a whole range of people had contributed. So there's a fair bit of esoteric stuff and remixes, which seems to be the thing. And I was talking to the DJ, and they buy these things in packages, remixes. So, yeah, it's interesting how they, and the whole the continuity means everything. And you were showing me how they mix using sort of virtual. He had two turntables. He was playing some vinyl to air, but he also had like MP3 players with a turntable which you move with your hand, and so you can sort of change your tempo or change the speed. You don't change the pitch, but you change the speed to match. So there's this constant flow. But the only problem was that, look, I just can't hear that well when I'm with a group inside when the music's really loud.
You too, hey?
It's just an age stage thing for me. I mean, I enjoy the vibe. I love the intensity, and the music was great. But when it's real, and look, and there's a lot of younger people there, and as well, and I think that I think music's expected to be at a certain level now. But yeah, and what the great thing about this venue was they actually hired out the entire restaurant for the night, which is really, it's amazing. And so we all had it. So we could find spaces, and there's an outdoor space, and it was a lovely evening. And we were talking a lot outside with people yesterday.
It was a lovely mild night, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a beautiful night. It was really good. But suddenly at 10 o'clock, the proprietor said, "Sorry, folks, this is our legal arrangement is that, or our neighbourly arrangement is that we have to all move inside. That's the contract with social contract with the neighbours."
Yep.
So yeah, we all had to go inside where the hype was.
And it all gets pent up, doesn't it?
Yeah, and there was a lot of people in the main part of the room where the music was really loud, and look, we stayed for a while. Stayed till about 11, I think, but they would have rocked on until 1 or 2. It was a great vibe. Yeah,
very loud music, and I start to lose the plot. Actually,
yeah, it can get just overwhelming. It's overstim for me. I don't know. Young people seem to manage a lot better.
I remember one time I went with Kathy to a family court ball. Way back in the day. I mean, really in the day.
Right.
However, they had very loud music.
Yes.
And I felt the need to, and Kathy too, to sort of escape from it.
Right.
It was literally imposing on
yes.
It was bad.
Yes.
And so I said that to somebody, and he said, "Look, if you just go down, leave this room and go down a couple of rooms, there is an empty room there. You could perhaps go there for a while."
Yes.
We'll just do that.
Mm-hmm.
And we went down a couple of doors and went into this room. It's full of oldies who are taking the same same course of action.
You're all being shoehorned into the alternative space.
That's right.
It's really funny.
The recovery room.
The recovery room, I love it. Yes, it sort of gets like that, doesn't it?
I'm afraid it does.
Yeah, I mean, look, there's a certain primal energy, I can see how young people really get off on it.
I did it in the 50s, when I was in my 20s.
Right. Yes. Oh, gosh.
And earlier, even better.
Yeah.
With the rock and roll.
Yeah, totally. I mean, it's compelling. It's visceral. It's so good. But yeah, when I value, I like having conversations, and
Yeah, I know, and I value my own hearing.
yes, I came out with that stonewall compressed feeling in my ears after the party, which is not great actually. No, but I had a very quiet day today. I've had an interesting day today. Look, Kate was out all day today, and the kids are out, and I thought I'm not going to hang around on my own all day playing with cameras and audio. I'm going to do something.
Okay.
And what I did was I'm trying to find photography tribes. I'm trying to find people to hang out with and to actually work in the field.
Yeah.
And there's a group in Olinda. I've met the proprietor of this group before, and they do photography walks. They're free, and they do them every month. And he, I get his blog every month, and I read it. And I don't really have much direct communication with him, but this particular photography walk was in the botanical gardens in the Dandenong Ranges, and which at the moment is absolutely stunning because of autumn colours.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, but the only problem was that the weather was totally crap today, and
Was it the rain?
yeah, I mean it was actually. When I say crap, I actually don't mind the rain, but and I did venture out. I ventured out with 3 cameras, which all got very wet, but that was okay. They dried out, and I went out there and met up with this group and took 3 films, and it was just so beautiful in the rain.
Wonderful.
It was so beautiful. All rugged up with complete wet weather gear and everything, and a big backpack to protect the gear as much as I could. Yes, I'm comfortable with that. But I met lots of young people, and look, there's quite a few people, in their 20s who are getting into analog photography, and it was really good to talk to them. And they were very keen to experience the equipment that I had. And it ended up being a full day event. I got home, about 4 o'clock, and then I was absolutely whacked, and I fell asleep and just woke up before this. So it's been my day today. And but it has been good. It's been really good. Just meet different people and just sort of get a sense of what young people expect from the hobby, and work together. They all wanted to use my equipment and take photos, and I let them do that. And we exchanged our Instagram accounts, and I value that sort of thing enormously. And and I've got to keep reminding myself every day that I'm not just a collector. I do enjoy collecting things because I'm intrigued by industrial design and the philosophy and the stories behind it and all of those sort of things. But I've got to use this stuff. I've got to use it all the time, regularly, and alternate between different cameras and different equipment so that I'm constantly experiencing it rather than just hoarding it. Yep. And I mean, that's the philosophy behind the missions, of course, here as well, to use the collection here and use this old broadcast gear and make it a social platform, make it something with much, much wider meaning, because life's not just about material things.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so...
ownership of its own just without use is really almost barren, isn't it?
Yes, it is barren. You're absolutely right. It is. It's vacuous in a sense. And so I feel I've got to keep challenging myself there, because I get into my creature comfort zones and I'm fixing things but I don't use them enough. So I feel quite invigorated by it today. I feel I've met new people. I've taken 3 films, including some plate film. And I braved the elements, and it's beautiful. The rain is just, it's so nice walking in the rain.
It's a wonderful experience.
It is. It
sounds silly, but once you get wet,
I know.
It is. Especially the only thing I don't like is rain and very cold.
Yeah, and that wasn't the case today. It was
mild.
It was mild. It was almost tropical rain. We had quite a bit of thunder in the Dandenong, so it was sort of reverberant But it was actually a really good day out, although I did find it quite tiring. So that's the story. That's what I've done. So
You have done very well.
Well, thank you. But I'm pleased to be here, and now we've got all the family coming in about how long? Oh, I said to Kate I'd finish at about 6:15. So we'll play a few records. We'll play a few things, and then we'll reconvene next weekend, of course. So what have we got? Our 20s hit just been put up online. This record was never released in Australia, to my knowledge, but it's an English collector called Nick Dellu, who puts up all manner of interesting recordings. This one's another record featuring Bert Furman and the band in his Rhythmic 8. And notably, I haven't even sampled this, but notably it says on the in the information here that it features a solo by the trumpet player Mr. O'Hulla, Sylvester O'Hulla, and the Finnish trumpet player went to America in the very early days and was very inspired by all the happenings in jazz. Went to England and got lots of work in England with Max Goldberg and Chelsea Queasley and others, and they were basically the trumpet section that played on all these 78s. And then the Musicians Union got track of the fact that he was getting all the work, and and he went back to America for a bit, and then he didn't really have much success when he went back. But he lived until 1995. So, which is amazing, really. He lived well into his 90s, and yet he was one of the pioneers. Now, he's got something like a 32-bar solo on this record, which I haven't listened to, but so listen out for Sylvester O'Hulla with Bert Furman and his Rhythmic 8, recorded for Zonophone in 1928 in London.
Watched that clock of mine to see if it was 8 or 9, but I'm always sure to be on time for my baby. I used to be so doggone blue, I used to be so cranky too, but now keep on smiling all day through for my baby. I never cared for a June night, now I can't wait till it's moonlight. Although the bankroll's kinda low, I want the whole wide world to know I made the payments on a bungalow for my baby.
That's one of the most remarkable British records I've heard from that period. And Sylvester Holler, trumpet soloist there, gets a Guernsey. That was a really excellent syncopated solo. Now, you think there's not a lot of influence in 1928. There's not a lot of precedence. Bix had made a few records. He's definitely influenced by Bix. You can hear it, especially in the ghosting effects he uses. And all of the marvellous syncopated offsets are Louis inspired. But, here is an artist with quite an imagination with what he had at the time. Yeah, I thought that was just tremendous, wonderful stuff, and recorded in London. Yeah, poor old Sylvester Ahola, he went back to America, and I don't think he did a lot. I'm not sure. I haven't got his backstory for the last part of his life. He basically returned to New York after 1931, and then sort of fell into relative obscurity. But he was certainly there in the early days in America. Yeah, Finnish background, interesting. There we go. That's our 20s hit. And moving on, I found a misfiled record. One of my faves, which I've lost for quite some time, and it was in a bunch of classical faves, probably because I wanted to present it somewhere, and it was misplaced. But it's a wonderful disc. You'll love it. It's a recording of the Stéphane Grappelli and the Hot Club of France. Yeah, and their take on a classic tune, Running Wild. Yeah, that's on fire, isn't it?
Hot hot.
It certainly was. Isn't the rhythm component to that group so compelling?
Yeah, they had a great deal to it, the rhythm guitar.
They did. I think they had at least 2 rhythm guitars. I think they had Grappelli, of course, on the violin, and
Django's brothers was on too.
Yeah. So Django
Played rhythm anyway.
Yes, I think he did. I think you're right. Django's brother played rhythm. Django himself played sort of melodic guitar because he only had 2 fingers, and then 2 rhythm players and bass. I think that's the extent of it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's such a great sound. And gosh, can't you hear the influence on skiffle bands in the next generation?
Totally.
It's just all there, isn't it?
All there.
I should play the other side before this record gets lost again. This is also marvellous. It's Miss Annabelle Lee, classic song from the 20s, but this instance, late 1930s, I think this was recorded.
Yep.
Just before the war. Miss Annabelle Lee and the quintet for the Hot Club of France with Stefan Grappelli and Django Reinhardt. Yes, one of the marvels about that ensemble is the fact that the rhythm section push almost to the edge of Credence, and Grappelli pulls back a bit.
Yes, a nice balance.
It is a good balance. It creates this sort of artistic tension, and it just makes it sound so good because they're just sort of wrestling with each other the whole time.
I just sort of noticed that, but you're quite right. That's exactly what happened.
Yeah, it's subtle. It's very subtle, but you can hear they're pushing right to the edge. They're almost tipping over the edge, and he's settled. He's settled, but it gives him his a structure to sit back on. He actually sits back on it. So
one that pulls it back. It's interesting that it gives you the feeling that they're wanting to go faster, but don't do it.
Yeah, exactly. It's so effective. It's so effective. It just gives you that a sense of just almost red hot resolve, with everyone being in that suspended moment.
It's just so full of, whatever it's hotness.
Yeah, totally. I agree. It's so good. I love it. I could hear them all day. Well, I thought for the next little bit until my family will arrive, which is fairly soon, so we haven't got very long. But I'd sample a few more of Jamie's World Program transcription discs. These are processed by AWA, recorded by 2GB, but they are actually overseas masters, and they've been put together for incidental music to use in radio stations back in the day, and look, there's stacks of them, and this is disc 624. So I'm sure there are many others, but they're like Vitatone records, except they're 16-inch transcriptions, and look, they're wonderful materials. All sorts of a lot of second-tier artists who are just as good as their brethren.
Yeah.
But also, in this instance, there's a couple here of Les Paul and his trio.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, this would be from the 40s, I imagine. So
He was playing jazz guitar in the 40s?
yes. It's before, as I understand it, it's before he sort of went with Mary Ford and did all those amazing hijinks.
Yeah, because that was 50s.
That was in the 50s. But
and before he became synonymous with the guitar.
yes.
Yes, good morning. Hey,
Hello.
Frank.
Yes,
Good afternoon, Frank. Good afternoon, Stephen.
Yes, nice to hear from you. How have you been?
Yeah, good.
Yeah, not at the snow yet.
Well, A, the season hasn't started.
No, I know.
B, there's none on the ground.
Yeah, no.
Too warm, isn't it?
It's too warm.
Way too warm.
Yeah, actually, you're right. I was out. I think you may have heard me speak before. I was out at in the Dandenong Ranges today doing some photography in the pouring rain, and it was.
Oh, that would have been fun.
Yeah, well, look, I know.
Keeping yourself in the gear drawer is the issue.
Well, today's the day. It was either today or not at all, and I want to meet up with people. So there's a group doing a bit of a walking trip and just, talk. And I met up with them in the botanical gardens in the Dandenong Ranges because I wanted to see the autumn colours. And that was the idea. But today was the day they did the walk, and they're still going to do the walk even in the rain. And I thought, well, look, I'll join them and meet some new people and get out all the analog gear, including the speed graphics, the old camera.
Yeah, wow. So how many extra kilos were you carrying because of all of that?
I was carrying a 10+ kilogram pack of camera gear, including tripods, plates, cameras, and I took.
Adds up, doesn't it?
It does. 3 cameras, and had it all in the pack. And I was walking in the pouring. It was absolutely teeming. It was ridiculous. But there were a couple of pergolas where I was able to set up and just on the rails set the camera up. Even the tripod wasn't suitable in that circumstance, so I just set it up on the rails and took some 5x4 and about 6 plates and then 2 full films of 120, 1 colour film and one black and white film.
A good for those. Hang on, I'll turn that down a bit. A good scenario for those is a monopod.
Yeah, I bought a monopod.
And with just like a bit of a rope or strapping where you can strap it to things.
Yeah, I must pick your brains about this.
It's actually very flexible, you can kind of fashion up. You can often make a very sturdy mount just using that.
Yeah, look, this is good advice. I need to talk to you about this because I've got a really good monopod, but I just don't have the technique to use it effectively yet, especially with heavier old cams, and I need to find a way to tether it and to make sure that I can really feel solid, and that would be a lot easier. And today it would be a lot better.
A good thing to have is with tethering it. They're like the load carrying straps that you use on cars, but not the ratcheting ones, just the ones that have the cam lock.
Okay.
So they're a wide strap, probably close to an inch width.
Yes.
Of like a cloth type strap.
Okay.
And all you do is you pass the end back through, and it's a little cam lock arrangement. You can pull them tight, and I've used them to replace guy ropes on tents, tie loads on cars.
Okay. Next Hamfest, I'm going to get you to.
You get them from the local hardware stores.
Right.
They're nothing special.
Okay.
And they come in a variety of different lengths.
Yeah.
Even with reflective things on them too. So if you're doing some stuff at night, you could kind of have them so that even, people don't tend to run into them. And
I've got to get my mind around this. Well, if you have any pictures, you could. This would be my saving grace for something like today, where I would have been much better having a good sort of tether arrangement. Anyhow, but look, that's food for thought. Thank you. Yeah. So anyhow, it was a sort of a bit of a messy, crazy day, really. But look, the autumn colours are still there, and nature in the wet, that area in the wet is just beautiful. And although I was wet even with my Gore-Tex gear, I was wet to the skin because it was walking around and all of this.
Gore-Tex is only proof to a point, and if there's wind, high wind can push the moisture back through.
Yes, indeed it can. And I'm used to all this for bushwalking, and I'm quite happy being uncomfortable to a point and knowing that the car's there at the end after a couple of hours. And look, to be honest, a lot of the bushwalk we do, we have, there's no comfort, and you just have to live with it. It was a beautiful day. It was a great day. It was great to see the colours were just so vibrant in the wet, and every so often there'd be just suddenly the light would just improve significantly, and you just suddenly scramble. A bit of a break, and then everything just comes alive. And I think it's a relative thing, but
but I think also what you find is you get when you've had heavy rain like that in an environment like that, and then you do get a sunburst through. Yeah. The other thing you get is a lot of the bark and the stuff on the trees and the soil is a little bit darker because of the rain having hit it.
Oh, tell me about it.
So you get this increase in kind of the richness of the colours of the dynamic range.
You do. It improves in orders of magnitude. It's so special, and that was the magic of today. Was those moments where everything sort of came alive, burst.
If the sun's hitting it, you get droplets of water. You get multicoloured bursts and things off them.
Yes, I'm invested. I find that really compelling, and that's one of the reasons I love walking in the rain, because you get these sort of changes of nature and moments like what you describe. Yeah, and that's same
as like take it as an extreme other end of the scale. If you're shooting like urban or city streetscapes. At night time, they look way better when it's rained and the streets slick and wet and reflective. It just sparkles.
It does. You're right. Everything sort of has a sheen to it. It's wonderful, and you get those reflective elements and refractive elements, all of that. Yeah, it's incredible. So that was it was most of the day. I was out there like for hours today, but it was good. That Dandenong Ranges National Park. It's a part of it, but it used to be the rhododendron gardens, and there's zillions of rhododendron plants there. And I never used to be into native. I used to always be a native purist. If it had introduced species, I was.
Is that the one that's in the locality like Callista?
It's near Olinda. It's right in the middle of Olinda. It used to be a golf course, I think. And then it became a rhododendron garden. Then it became this botanical gardens. I think it's under the same auspice as the Melbourne Botanical Gardens. I think it's all sort of fielded the same way by the same people, and it's free. It's accessible, but they've got these arboreums with these fantastic old deciduous trees, and it's just colour city. It's just spectacular. It's so good, and I try and get there each year. I was a little late this year because it peaks on Anzac Day, around about that time. So a lot of the trees had lost their leaves, but still it was just magnificent.
Yeah, it's the same. You get that same period of time up around the Bright and through that valley up in the King and the Kiwa Valleys.
Oh, you'd see that up there, the Kiwa Valley, my God, yes.
It's quite, with the deciduous trees, it's quite striking this time of year.
It is, indeed it is. That's so true. It's really striking. It's very compelling. Love it. So, I'm just trying to make the most of autumn while it's here, and those sort of things mean a lot. And just using this old gear, I've got to use it. I was just saying to Frank before, if I don't use it, it's meaningless. And I'm just collecting for collecting's sake. So, and I'm just trying to understand these old cameras the best I can and get some pictures is quite a, it's been a positive thing for me. Yeah. So anyhow, look, I'm keen to keep chatting, but I'll put on a couple of recordings of Les Paul and his trio off a 16-inch transcription record, courtesy of Jamie. He gave me another 20 of these. They're just wonderful. This is disc 624, by the way, so they pressed lots of them.
Yeah, wow.
And I think they're used for incidental. They've got locked grooves. They've got about 6 tracks and with locked grooves, so you'd sort of cue one up typically in the studio of Yore, and then you subsequently cue them up as needed. So they would just be eternally in the runoff groove after you'd finished with that track. So it's a good system for sort of incidental music, and you don't have to take the needle off. But bear with me, I'm just quickly getting this. Oh, wait a minute, I've got to switch this in. It's a 33, 16-inch. And we should be in business. Now, the track, I think, is Won't You Tell Me is the name of the track. Les Paul and his trio from about 1948. So hopefully we have all systems in order and a result. Folks, there you had it. Unfortunately, there's RF getting into the system. I didn't want to abort the track, but we're getting a cascade effect there. It sounds a little bit like the Mantovani version. Unfortunately, now that's come about since I've done, or I've put in the replacement computer system here, and so I'll just have to investigate. I'll have to see if I can get some ferrites on the job to isolate things a bit more. There are a lot of ferrites in this room for various questions. It tends to be a problem when I'm using 40 meters. There's obviously a synergy that's
and you can start to get cables that are long enough that they pick up pretty effectively. Yes, they do, and it's all it's a bit of a dark art, really. But it was working really well before, so I expect it can be modified, and it's just a question of getting some more of the ferrites and just going to town on this turntable. I can try it on. These CEs are 12-inch turntables, but they'll take the big records. So maybe I can just modify the situation here. But
so the sound on that is guitar sound, very, cool guitar sound, and very still, very reverby.
Yeah, well, that's because of
the... really nice for the 40s, Frank.
Yeah. I'm curious to know. I just was looking up. I'm curious to know what he would have been actually playing in that era, because I'm guessing it was obviously an open body type, and more an arch top, the old designs, because they really hadn't developed the hard solid bodies yet.
No, that's true.
I think he played a big part in developing the solid body.
It's pretty well synonymous with it, so yeah.
Yeah, that's right. That's his call, isn't it?
But that was a little bit after all of this, because that was all 50s.
Yeah, that's right. Well, look, I'll try another track on this turntable. I don't know if the stylus profile is exactly right, but we can give it a go and see if we can get So we have a better result here. The second track is Fine and Dandy is the name of the track. So we're listening to Les Paul and his trio, and on Ancient Vinyl. This sounds better. It's pretty good, isn't it? It's so good. I mean, he's so slick. Yeah, Les Paul and his trio. That worked well. I'm pleased about that. That's good. We have an alternative. So I'll examine systems here and see if we can put a few more ferrites in line. Yeah, it's a synergy between 160 and 40. That's what's causing it. And it's happened in the past and we've resolved it. So I'm confident. Gives me something else to do. Yeah, so... but anyhow, that's great. What else is on this record? I'm keen to hear some more. I think it's great. Next one is...
Great.
Yeah, Blue Skies is track C. So do a quick cue in and let's have a bit more of Les Paul and his trio. Okay.
Wah, 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 wah.
Yeah. Yes.
They're short recordings, aren't they?
They are. They're little 2-minute vignettes.
And really, you had to listen carefully, like the traditional, the melody bit of Blue Skies, like it was only ever fleeting, wasn't it?
Yes.
Like they were riffing around it so much
They
that,
were.
oh, there it is, and then it's gone
I
again.
know. Yeah, that's a
Lovely
part
to
of
hear.
it. It is. It's clever. It's really sort of gives you a sort of a journey experience there, taking you in and around and out and about. Yeah, great. I love the vibe though. Hearing the electric guitar in that early era is quite. Yeah, there's a beautiful resonance. The clarity is just superb, but you're getting that acoustic aspect to it as well, no doubt. So yeah, it'd be worth researching what guitar he was using in that period.
I just looked up some photos. I saw there's a picture of him playing something in a 47, which looks very like. I don't think it is necessarily Gibson. It might be, but it looks like a Gibson sort of L5 or something like that, with a big arch top open, you know, with the F holes and with a very early kind of, you know, pickup sort of system. But
so would the pickup register some of the much of the acoustic domain as well?
It has an effect on them.
Right.
Certainly, it affects the sound.
Okay.
It's not in the sense of, you know, some very early ones just use microphones in the body.
Yeah, totally.
And then one of mine, a local Mayton, who are made here in Melbourne.
Yes.
The pickup system in that has both. It has the piezo pole pieces for the bridge to pick up, you know, electromagnetic stuff from the strings.
Yes.
But it actually has on a little arm inside on the preamp. It's got a little mic as well.
Oh, little electric.
And on the preamp, you can select totally microphone or the pickup system or a mix of both.
Really?
And that was something they actually introduced after one of our sound recordists started playing with them, and they're looking for a particular sound. He said, "Oh, here, try this mic in the body," and they started quizzing him about all of this, and then they introduced this new pickup system with that in it. So
wow, so you were there.
The mic in the body has been used a lot over the years.
Yes, okay.
And so it's hard to know. I suspect.
There's a fair roundness to the sound.
Yeah, I suspect there was probably an element of the electric, you know, like miking the amplifier and perhaps also on the guitar maybe.
Yes, maybe you had a close mic on them. I mean, condensers were everywhere at that stage, so they probably had very sort of quite, you know, excellent microphone options by 1940 mumble.
When did magnetic pickups start?
Yeah, it's a good question.
They probably, I imagine they would have been... certainly in the 40s, they would have been around already, I think. You know, perhaps early 40s, late 30s, I don't know.
Yeah.
Right.
Interesting. Yeah.
Certainly by the 50s, they were well and truly all over the place and lots of different designs, but they're around for a fair while before all of that.
Yeah, sure. First, I'm just looking it up. Magnetic pickups. You can't really trust AI, but you never know. It was used. And it might give us at least a point of departure. First successful magnetic pickups were used in the early 30s. Rickenbacker frying pan, lap steel guitar. Okay, with
good old Rickenbacker.
Frying pan. It's the first string instrument to use a magnetic pickup which utilized large magnets that surrounded the strings to create a magnetic field. How about that? Early pickups used horseshoe magnets.
Early 30s.
Yeah, gosh. Should we look up the frying pan? Oh, it'd probably take a while to delve deep enough to find a example. Maybe we can suspend this one. We'll
Look for a wormhole later on.
Oh, this could be a great wormhole. I'm going to save the page, and then we'll look at this.
Well, I was
next
having
week.
a bit of a read just initially there, trying to look for what Les Paul at that era.
Yeah.
And it refers to him in the 30s, releasing a couple of albums and playing. He had before adopting the name Les Paul, apparently he had an alter ego name, and it was a sort of a hillbilly called Rhubarb Red.
Oh my God, Rhubarb Red. Oh my God.
So keep an eye out if on any of his records. If you see a reference to Rhubarb Red, that'll be Les Paul.
Les Paul. I'm going to look it up right now. I'm intrigued. I wonder if there are any records in the public domain. Rhubarb Red and his Rubes, 3 songs. My God. I wonder if it's them. Ranch Radio. Yeah, okay, Les Paul, here we go. My goodness me, thank you for this. I need brains trusts to be able to eliminate the fact. This is really interesting. Well, we'll go back in time to Les Paul before he was Les Paul. Well, he's probably Les Paul, but yeah, as Rhubarb Red. If I can Oh, why isn't this working? Sorry, folks. I've got a little bit of a system issue. Oh, bear with me. It's going to take a moment to resolve because the computer has shut down and I need to go through my motions. Sorry, that's a loss of momentum. Why is it not showing up? Bear with me. What I'll do, I will find it. I'll play another one of these current ones and I'll quickly find it, and I've just got to do a system restart here. It's doing weird stuff. Let's hear another of Les Paul and then I'll go to Rhubarb Red thereafter. So that should hopefully do the trick. Go. That was another from that transcription record featuring Les Paul. But yeah, I've got systems sorted now. And this one has some fun facts or some information that sort of illuminates the fact. And one is that says here, this is quite moving, this story. It says Les Paul was only 5 years younger than Django Reinhardt. He looked him up after the war, and they became great friends. When Django died nearly broke at the age of 43, it was Les Paul who played for his funeral. How's that for an extraordinary fact? Amazing. Yeah.
I knew Django was a big influence on him in terms of his playing.
But that's a extraordinary story. I mean, wow, what a incredible. And looking at Mr. Rhubarb Red, it says here, Les Paul tells the story of a listener while complimenting his playing, told him, "You're pretty good, but you'll never be as good as that Rhubarb Red." And according to the story, Les didn't even bother to tell the guy that he was Rhubarb Red. That's great, isn't it? Oh, I love these sort of little incidentals. I mean, even if they're a bit apocryphal, it illuminates the fact. It's great to hear. Yeah, all right. Well, let's have a listen to Rant's Radio Song of the Day featuring Rhubarb Red aka Les Paul in 1930 Mumble.
In the blue hills of Virginia, where the tall pines reach the sky, how my heart thrills in Virginia, and the love shines in your eyes. In the evening you're a picture so fair, mellow moonbeams kissing your hair. In the blue hills of Virginia, I hope to win ya sweetheart mine. In the evening you're a picture so fair, mellow moonbeams kissing your hair. In the blue hills of Virginia, I hope to win ya, sweetheart mine.
Okay, there we go. Ranch Radio.
Much more acoustic sound, wasn't it?
Yes, definitely. Absolutely the case. Yeah, interesting to hear. Yeah, I'm being reminded that I'm supposed to be family compliant at this point, as much as I'd like to keep on this trajectory. So I'll play one more as our ride out, and wishing you both a great week. And I'm back again next weekend, all being well. Same thing, same station.
Likewise, have a good week. Vk3sl.
Yeah, cheers, Frank. All the best to you, mate. All the best. And to you too, Mr. JR. You have a lovely week.
Forward to next weekend.
Well, yes, and you'll have your mic cable all sorted.
Have a good week, both of you.
Yes, you too.
So it goes.
Yes, absolutely. Yes, all the best. Thank you, folks. Thanks for listening in. And it's been a wonderful ride, as always, listening to this marvellous music. It's total inspiration. Anyhow, have a great week, and until soon.
CJR.
And vk3sl likewise.
Thank you.